This is a bit of a different video for me. I want to talk about something that I heard about 2 weeks ago on Good Morning Britain. And I'm not one for morning TV, but sometimes it's on at work when I arrive. And this particular story piqued my interest. A woman had come on to the show and she had announced that she hasn't told a single lie for 2 years and that she is committed to never lying to anyone ever again for as long as she lives. And it made me think, first of all, to make that kind of a claim, how much do you lie to start with? Because I've never considered myself somebody who lies. And actually, when you read more into her story, she didn't consider herself somebody who lied either. But during a therapy session, she told one of those little white lies to somebody as she was recounting a story to the therapist. And the therapist said, "So you lied, you didn't tell her the truth." And she was like, "Well, no, I didn't really lie." And she was like, "But you did." And what she learned from this is that actually by lying, she's people pleasing because she's telling people what she thinks they want to hear. And by people pleasing, all she's doing is never really being her true self. And her therapist said she's not actually making true connections with anybody. And people aren't really getting to know her truly as her authentic self. But this produced questions within the studio. So whoever it was who was interviewing said, "But hold on a minute." I think it might have been, is it Richard Madeley? He said, "Well, hold on a minute. You know, if your wife asks you, do I look good in this? You know, you never say no." And I'm thinking, hey, you know, we ask if we look good in this because we do. I mean, I know we joke about it being the sort of question that you can never, you know, they don't really want the truth. But actually, we do want the truth. I'm pretty certain all women, 99 at least % of women want the truth. If we say, do we look good in this? Does this outfit look okay? It's because we're not 100% sure ourselves. And we don't want to go out looking ridiculous or for the two items we've matched together to not really match, or the shoes to just ruin the outfit, or whatever it is. Now, I'm not a fashion guru, as long-term viewers will know. But I've had this conversation with Lee since having seen this interview. And he says, "No, I'd tell you." And I think he would, you know. And since then, I have said to him, "Does this top go with these trousers?" And he's like, "No, that's fine. Looks good. See, I wouldn't lie to you." So he's remembered it. But then I wonder how many men actually then do lie and say, "Yeah, you look great." And, you know, how many partnerships and relationships and what have you are out there where those sorts of white lies are said to please the other person? And there's more than that. I mean, she was saying things like she actually called out somebody, a friendship that she'd had for a long time, that she felt they had been drifting apart, kind of asked her about, you know, can we meet up? And she said no. And then, you know, well, can we meet up another time? And she said she called it out for what it was and said, "Look, I feel like we've been drifting apart and I feel like we don't really have very much in common anymore. And I'm just wondering if, you know, we should just knock this on the head," kind of thing. And this friend was like, "Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate your honesty. And yeah, you know, I've kind of felt the same about things." And I don't know, I just thought that's a really uncomfortable conversation. And I'm not sure that I've ever been in a position where I felt inclined to lie in that way. I mean, we all say, "Oh God, you know, we must get together for a cup of tea." When you bump into somebody you haven't seen for ages, we must get together. It's been forever. And then inevitably a year's time, 2 years' time, you bump into each other again and go, "We really should have that cup of tea. We really should get together and, you know, let's pencil something in the diary." And again, you never do it. No, I don't do that because it's a nice thing to say and I want to say it to those people. I say it because I mean it. Even if my life suddenly goes manic, as is my life in general, and I don't contact them again and I don't see them, it's not been a lie. I actually do want to see them and I do want to have that time with them and I do enjoy that time with them when I see them. And I think about people often, even though I don't see them very often or even message them very often. They're often in my head. You know, I think about them a lot. Or fleeting moments when they come into my mind because I've seen something that reminds me of something we've done together or somewhere we've been together, or I see old photos. But that doesn't always prompt me to contact them because life's busy and it gets in the way. And that's a really sad fact. But I thought about, how often do I lie? I suppose if somebody asked me outright, do you like my new hairdo? And I didn't like it, I'm not going to turn around and say to them, no, I really don't like what you've done with it. I don't think it suits you. Because they've just spent a lot of money and they're obviously very happy with their new hair. But then also, I don't think I've ever really had anybody come up to me and say, do you like my new hairdo? So I don't know. Would I lie? I mean, we lie to our kids, don't we? You know, there are parents out there that will say we should never lie to our kids. And, you know, that includes, I'm being very careful how I say this, consider lies to be things that happen throughout the year that we put down to magic and mystery. I'm just going to say that because I don't want to ruin it for anyone else who might be watching. And, you know, we give credit to others for those things. I don't see that as lying. I think that's magic and mystery for kids. I don't feel that growing up, that magic and mystery was a lie, because I think the spirit of that magic and mystery is special and important and creates a fantastic childhood. But I know some people have said when they found out about the magic and mystery, it wasn't what they had been told, they felt they'd been lied to, and that it affected them deeply. And maybe that just because that's not been my experience, I can't understand that concept because it was only ever kind magic in my eyes. So I don't know. That's made me wonder. Maybe let's open the discussion in the comment section. How often do you think you lie? And do you think it's acceptable to lie at any point? Or do you believe that this woman is right in never lying ever again? Not even the white lies, not even something that might save somebody from hurt or pain. I mean, she says she's very tactful about the way she says things, so that she tries to minimise the hurt and pain. But one of the things she did say was that when she doesn't want to go out on an arranged meetup anymore, that she would cancel at the last minute, and she would have made an excuse in the past and said, I'm really sorry, something's come up, my kids are sick or whatever it was. But now she says, I'm really sorry, I'm just not feeling it right now, and I'm not going to come. And people have been very grateful that she's just been honest about it and not made an excuse. But in the next breath in this article, she also said that she was honest with people when they had upset her by flaking on her at the last minute over an arrangement. And I thought, it's a little two-sided. But again, I suppose her being very honest doesn't negate the fact that she might feel upset if the circumstances were reversed. And that, again, I suppose is her being very honest and genuine. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? This is just a topic that fascinated me. And I really wanted to put it out there to the wider audience and say, what do you think? Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this, anything that it has raised for you, and how much do you think you actually lie in your day-to-day life?